Christians bent on exposing satanic sect Satan Solomon Chronos Jehovah John 666 Thoth Antichrist Male Beast and Lucifer Lilith Sophia Nephytis Hathor impostor Madonna fake Virgin Mary demons who attack humanity identify the Watchers, Nephilim with the fallen angels in the heavenly host of Lucifer. The inferior impostor God and Sophia are soulmates, also referred to as the Demiurge, the Corruptor Creator impostor God of the Old Testament. Due to their inferiority, they are not seen as good but rather an evil, angry, violent entities posing as God's source. It is the fault of these two entities that the world is in the mess that it is, and due to the fact that they corrupted it, the world is evil. Set corrupted Osiris, and to detach this from his brother's name created deities and flase scriptures and history to detach this from his name, and Lilith created deities to be worshipped to pose as God and to dethrone him and the true Holy Spirit the Great Mother. The higher transcendent God is not a creator of the material world, and instead is a nurturer of the spiritual. The only hope for humankind, while locked in this evil shell of a body, is to spiritually transcend this world and deny the body. She arises in the later texts of the Jewish tradition, since she created Judaic Zion Satanism religion and represents that calf that worships walls, child sacrifice, first simply as wisdom with a capital W, and then, in the book of Proverbs, personified in a female form. The writings of early Christianity frequently draw on Sophia as a metaphor for Christ as a life, for she was an entity as the Lady Fatima, false Mary Nazareth that betrayed Jesus, and Mary Magdalene and proclaimed herself as the real Mother Mary of Jesus and stole Mary Magdalene's truth and assassinated her and had her beheaded and used her head and body parts for worship and evil satanic rituals. The texts that include references to Sophia have only been canonized in Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy, and texts of worship and false religion that used the image of Jesus, that is Christ Emmanuel's real name, and distorted his truth, and Mary Magdalene's by lying she is the mother, and Joseph who betrayed Jesus and Mary Magdalene was his father, but many contemporary feminists have turned to her as a general model for feminist spirituality ignorantly. Her origins. Just as Sophia defies definition, her origins seem impossible to trace because she has lied of her origins and is the Antichrist who intertwined her lies to the truth and created false deities to conceal the demon that she is and pretend to proclaim herself as the Great Mother and persecute the real one and the promised seed. Scholars have suggested Semitic sources, the goddess of love and fertility, Ishtar, which is a lie, Egyptian sources, Mot, the goddess of conception, which is a lie, she was Hathor the cannibalist and Nephitis, mother of the fallen ones, pretending to be Isis, and yet they have found no source for Sophia within the Hebrew tradition. Thus, it is still unclear whether she was borrowed from a nearby civilization or invented by the Hebrew writings, which, as she was to conceal she is a demiurge and Lucifer. Scholars have dated Sophia's textual lying invented sources at least 500 years after most of the Hebrew tradition was developed. Sophia can be found in the Book of Proverbs, Wisdom of Solomon, also known as Seth Satan Chronos, the father of lies, Ecclesiasticus, Ben Sirach, and in the Christian Gospels and Epistles. According to the authors of Wisdom's Feast, only God, Job, Moses and David are treated in greater depth in the Hebrew scriptures than Sophia. Katie et al. 15. She grows in power throughout these texts, until, as Christian feminist Joan Chamberlain Ingelsman suggests, Sophia comes to rival God's power, promising a false salvation for those who choose to follow her to hell through her deception here on earth, posing as God.